Welcome back to Krown's Crypto Cave and a little Monday morning update. And I always want to be wishing everyone the happiest of Mondays. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Although crypto doesn't really sleep, although it doesn't really do too much this past weekend, anyways. So hopefully people got out there and had a little bit of a life. So anyways, let's get right into it over here because we do have a few new things as a new weekly and a new 2-day do emerge. So over here, going down to the daily, and again, I just want to remind everyone before we get into it, this is going to be like more short-term analysis with a focus on those bigger timeframes that we just kind of populated as of last night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Anyways, okay, yes, here we go. We closed yesterday's daily above the yellow 21 exponential. I believe on all exchanges this is replicated on. Let's confirm this. Yeah, GDEX as well, Stamp as well, and Mexico as well. Good, good, good. Okay, so this to me is basically just dancing around, consolidating around this level. You can see that it's almost like Bitcoin has an equal but opposite reaction along the yellow 21 exponential as of more recent time, with Finex being a major outlier with some of these major wicks above. If you go over here to the 2-day, which we did just get a new one, you'll see that, yes, Finex actually did close this last 2-day below the 21 exponential. Now, all other exchanges have been closing 2 days below the yellow 21 exponential on the 2-day chart over here. So this is pretty pretty damning in my opinion. If I put on our indicators over here, 2-day stokes are still kind of pointed up and gaining momentum to the upside. Although we will get a new one. Yeah, we just got a new one, so fair enough. We got to wait a whole another 2 days. If we go over here to the 3-day, that's where things get a little bit interesting. The 3-day stokes are crossed down. They're crossed down as we got a new one yesterday, and we are living below the yellow 21 exponential, kind of basing along there, and the purple 200 exponential. So things are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. 3-day RSI over here, not telling us too much, just consolidating between the neutral zone and the bearish zone. Can still go either way. I don't want to make that sound like a super bearish thing. I think it's to be interpreted a little bit more neutrally than anything. On to the weekly, though, as we did just get a new weekly. Weekly stochastics have crossed the downside, and they are opened up pretty heftily towards downside as well. Not only that, but the exponential cross that we've been looking at for quite some time, this yellow 21 exponential and the green 55 have officially crossed now. Now, Finex obviously always being the outlier doesn't show it as much as something like Stamp or GDEX. As you can see right here, GDEX actually quite in there. If we do put on the 10 simple moving average over here, you'll see that price action actually being curtailed below there right now. So again, this is the slow grind as what I refer to. So let's go down to the lower time frames and kind of plot out the bigger areas to be aware of, because they still do matter. They still do matter, although the range just gets tighter and tighter each and every day. Each and every passing day, baby. Each and every goddamn passing day. So what do we have now over here? Well, if we get, let's always plot out the biggest areas first. The biggest area being, the most obvious area really being 6150 as your big support. And we do have a declining trend line starting all the way back here as our major, as our primary major resistance. Now, yes, the bigger descending triangle is still in play, but for right here, right now, we're not really near it. So, so fair enough. As you probably already know, our 6550 support has not been broken quite literally for quite some time now. I think we went about a week of just playing between 6650 and 6550. Speaking of 6650, that is still our more immediate resistance. These are neither strong resistances nor strong supports, by the way, but Bitcoin just tightened it up as tight as possible, tight like a tiger, as goddamn gold memberish that you can get. If 6450 were to break, 6350, or sorry, 64. If 6550 was to break, 6450 is the next area that I look towards. If 6450 was to break, 6350 is where I'd look next towards. None of this has really changed. We still have this kind of trend line coming up around here, and we can certainly represent this as some sort of a broadening wedge bear flag if you'd like to. And let's see. If you were to break above 6650, you'd probably meet your next resistance right at the intersection, this area right around here, around 6750, with both this declining trend line and this horizontal trend line right here. If Bitcoin were to break out above there, that'd be the first initial thing that I'd be looking at for for something that's a little bit interesting to the upside, as I just wouldn't see much stopping us from the bigger descending triangle at that point. You'd probably get a formal test of it, which is officially coming down around 7,100 now. If you were to bust above 7,100 and formally test the red and purple 200 and simple exponential. Simple and yeah, there we go. Getting my words right. Then you'd probably actually be met with your first higher high in the last 10 months above the 7,400 high. So that'd be where I start to get a little bit interested in some like longer longs, so to say. Above 8,000, I get very interested. Above 10,000, I say, yep, I think the bottom's already been had. Until then, it's always gonna be a question in the back of my mind. By the same token, as long as you're above 6,150, I don't really want to entertain like the super downside scenarios that I've kind of pointed out in the past. Although I do believe that as long as we're kind of hanging down here, it is at the forefront of my mind, and it is what I do. It is what I do. Want to be focusing on, but as long as you're kind of holding above 6,150, it's not something that I want to be actively working towards, if that makes sense. So again, this is just very, 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 very low term thinking. Low time frame thinking. In the shorter time frames over here, you got your 4-hour stochastics crossing up, so perhaps we are in for some upside right around here. 6-hour losing momentum, but in the neutral zone. 8-hour, same sort of thing. 12-hour losing momentum to the upside, but in the neutral zone. And daily, same sort of thing. They're all quite literally right in the fucking middle. So this is the perfect scenario to really fuck everyone good. 2-hour crossing down, by the way. By the way, I just want to point out the 3-hour getting the bottom perfectly. Once again, it's just, I don't know what it is. It's perfect. It just does. Don't do anything in your life but trade the 3-hour stochastics. Anyways, let's see. Do we have anything else to say about the RSI? Daily time frame. Not much, just completely neutral. 2-day, completely neutral. Weekly did... I mean, oh man, it's hard to make too much out of this just because it's so fucking close. I would interpret this slightly more bearishly, just because you are below the exponential and you are more close to the bearish range. What about a 3-day? Yeah, 3-day, same sort of thing, but not a huge thing. So again, more than anything, neutrality is the name of the game. But it does look like Bitcoin is going to it did try to take a leg up this morning. And if it can flag out over here, if it can essentially maintain 60, well, like on Finex it's fucking 6,600. Jesus Christ, every other exchange is like $50 lower. Then you likely will see it take another formal stab at this 6650 resistance right around here, and maybe it does get a pass. Let's go over to GDAX. I'm just curious what GDAX was getting up to and what that would equate to on GDAX. Yeah, 6570 would be the area, and it needs to hold up above about 6550. That same sort of support that we've been looking at for quite some time. So again, if you're in the very, 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 very low time frames right here, this is what I'd be looking at. Break above 6570. It's a fucking $20 range. This is ridiculous. Jesus fucking Christ. Go trade some Forex. Maybe I'll start doing like the Forex Fortress or some shit. But hey, if you can bust above 6570, I don't see much stopping me from 600, another $30 range. If you for some reason lose this very strong and robust 6550 support, then don't worry, it gets pretty damn bad all the way down here to 6530. So there you go. Again, the range tightens. I would say this, so each and every passing day that the range stays and tightens up does make it more likely to break. So again, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you on this lovely Monday morning. I hope this video finds you well. Again, this just short-term analysis. If you want some more longer-term analysis, definitely go check in on the playlist called Long-Term Analysis. And I look forward to seeing you in a new one near you soon. I'll be on a live stream later tonight, so take care.